What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to do a walkthrough on my shop and show you what we all have and what we use far as lasers, like how we use it, what each machine is for, I should say. Let's go with that. So let's get to it. First off, we have the shipping area. We have a dedicated shipping area for this because then it doesn't bog up my computer for the lasers. You'll understand in a minute. But this is where we do all the shipping. Yes, there's a pizza oven there. That is for the days that are super long and fast to heat up our food. We have no spot for it, really. So we don't know what we're going to do with it. We actually thought about bringing it to Goodwill, but probably won't happen. Anyways, this is the shipping. We have the bubble wrap up there. And over here we have the roll paper. We use a ton of this paper all the time for our glassware. We'll do one little wrap with the bubble, and then we do pack all the loose stuff up with the paper, and we have the best results. Now over here you can see we have the shipping shelf. Really nothing spectacular or anything. This is where we keep all of our overstock on shipping for the boxes and such, and that's ordered as needed. There's a cobweb. But yeah, it works. It's simple and it works. And then we have these tables right here we pull out when we have bigger jobs, and those go here. Normally we do have some rolling carts. I took them out for the video so you guys can see this and how this all works. But we have rolling carts. We do move those around in the shop, and we put a lot of our done stuff on there. And then we have one shelf that presents the stuff we can do, and free handouts we also give when people order big or large amount of stuff. Over here is an embroidering station. So except for all this stuff, this is my miscellaneous garage stuff, but all this is where we do the hats, the shirts, we do everything embroidering, and it comes out over here. Now what we'd like to do also is I have 3 clipboards that are normally hanging up there, and we hang those up there. They're flipped around so you guys don't see addresses and such, but we put all the paperwork on there. So what we'll like to do is put one of them for rotary work, one of them for flat work, and then one of them for like local businesses. As they come in, I'll have them fill out a sheet of what they want, how many of what they want, the price and so forth, and if they paid. So that's what all this is. And it's kind of a glorious mess, but hey, this is a working shop. This isn't a fluff shop. So there is stuff that's messy in here and it's not organized, and I'm very much aware of it, and I'm okay with that because I got to get some work done, and until I hire someone, it ain't gonna happen. I'm doing my best. That's all I can say. Now over here is my computer. I do run 2 screens, and I have it hooked up to all the machines in here, and it's honestly the best way to do it because you can just hop on there. I can have multiple windows open for each laser, and you just send them the product. You send the file to the laser, or you send the file to the embroidery machine, and you start whipping it out, and you just go. It's what works for me, and it's what I do. And yeah, we do so many hats. Look at, see this box? There's 2 boxes there. One's shirts, one's hats. We have a lot of hats. So this laser over here is the Thunder 35. This is my AC unit for now. This is a Thunder 35 100 watt. We use this mainly for engraving. We have a couple of jobs that it just takes. We have jigs. Wooden jigs. I couldn't think of the wooden jigs that we slide in there, and we have it all marked to where it needs to go with the pegs. And then what we do is, if you don't know what I'm talking about, it's laser pegs. I 3D print them, but these laser pegs is what we use. Slide it in the jig, and then it just engraves, and it does a couple hour. It's a couple hour jobs that we put in there. And that's about it. We don't cut with this one anymore, and you'll see why. Now this laser here, you can see has a rotary chuck, and this is the UV laser. We do a couple of medical jobs I've done with this already on certain plastics, but it's a ton of glass. Like we do lots and lots of glasses. So that's mainly what this thing does all day, every day, is glassware. When you do glass, it's like sandblasting, really. It's sweet. And I had a jar, here it is. You can see the laser, CO2 on the bottom and UV on top. It's a huge difference. So that's what we use this for. 100% like most of the time. I shouldn't say 100% because there is some plastics we do, but mainly glass. All right, then this messy boy. So what happens is you start running a job here and you move stuff on this one, and then you run jobs there and you move that stuff on this one, and then you run a job here, you put it back over there. So I just have to find a shelf, a good system where I can place a lot of this, because most of it is all jigs, like all these wooden jigs. But I'm in cahoots with the 3D printer. I'm getting a couple of emails from people that want to make jigs for me that 3D print. I am flattered. It's awesome and everything, but I already have someone, so I'm working with them. So anyways, this is a CO2 galvo laser. If I didn't say it, this is a UV galvo, but this is a CO2 galvo. So what I do on this one is like a lot of wood. So it engraves wood so fast compared to a gantry laser, because the gantry has to go back and forth. When this one has a mirror and it just turns that laser and it goes lickety split, it's done fast. And then the other big thing I do is tumblers. So we do a ton of those for companies, local companies, and for online, and it works out really well. It's super fast. Now the only downfall is I think I can go 2.5 inches wide with this, but on some things you have to go like 2.25. 2.25 I feel like is the best spot. So sometimes it doesn't work for the application and you have to use the gantry, which we would use this laser, but now that I have something else, I don't think I'll be using that one. I'll be using a different one, which I'll show you in a minute. And then we have the Mactron, the fiber laser. Now this thing has, so in the beginning with this thing, I didn't think there'd be enough work for metal, because I used to have an Epilogue fiber and CO2 laser, and I just didn't have a ton of work with the fiber, and we didn't use it much. So I really didn't think I would have enough work to keep this busy or to make money off it. And lo and behold, I was wrong, 100%. Once I had this, I have more metal work than I've ever had in my life, just for marking. And then on top of it, to do like a business card, I don't have any business cards or anything on here, the aluminum black business cards. I make all mine on here. I do some for other companies, and it's amazing. It's fast as heck. This is a huge time saver for metal. Now, I wouldn't take a metal cup and put it in there and do it, because here's the thing with those. So now you have these metal cups that are made in China, and it's not pure stainless. So when you break the surface of this stainless and you get water on it, it will rust. Mark my words. If you don't believe it and you have a fiber laser, give it a whirl. I guarantee you it'll rust. And the other thing is, if you don't believe me and you don't have a fiber, then let's do this. Take a magnet. I don't know if this one's going to be strong enough. Oh yeah. You tell me, that magnet stick? This is a magnet. Stainless, it won't stick. So you tell me that that's not going to rust. I don't even know if I have something stainless. So because the magnet will stick to it, that means it's going to rust, because there's steel in there. There's not pure stainless. So that's why I do those in the CO2 galvo, because I don't want to break that surface, because I'd hate a customer to come back and then say it had rusted and it looks like crap. This here is the Thunder 51. Now, I absolutely love this thing, and I got this one for one reason, and it was because I can take a sheet of plywood, stick it in there because it's 51 inches wide, and then I can cut it. So I don't have to worry about a table saw. I don't have to worry about getting a table saw out. I don't have the room to keep a table saw up in this garage. Now I don't have the sawdust. And then what we do is we shove it on the shelf on top up there, and when I need wood now, I grab it and set it in there. These that are in there right now are all my cutoffs, and they're for like miscellaneous small stuff. So this comes in handy because I can let the whole sheet sit in there, and I can put a big job on there and it can just run by itself and it's completely fine. So that's where I'm more leaning on I don't need the 35 no more, and I think I might have to get rid of that and get another embroidery machine to keep up with all of it. This will cut 1/2 inch for me, where the 35 it struggles. This is 135 watt. It's a lot faster, so that's why I use this one for cutting on everything. And now I've been using a little more of it for engraving to make sure I like the the outcome of the engraving, because it's a bigger watt, and they say the bigger the wattage, the wider the beam on the laser. But so far, it's been engraving really good. And as far as detail, well, I have the galvos, and I also have the bolt. Now, this part of the garage, I have a 3D printer, and this is where I make a ton of these little clips. We run this, I bet you, once a week, but it's a solid day. Well, 24 hours really, because I'll start it before I go to bed, even load up the whole bed. But it's nice to do the jigs like that, because I'm constantly breaking them, cutting them, and then once in a while, someone buys them, so I'll ship them out to them. This is the bolt, and I am still getting used to this. I'm doing a bunch of testing still. I am just starting the series for the testing on the rotary tool. I don't have the mini, I have the regular rotary tool, and it works in here. So I have that going for this, and I think this is going to be my laser that's going to run tumblers all day, every day. That's what my prediction is, and what I'm going to do with it if I can't run them in the galvo. Over here we have the XTool. You can see I put some wood on here. This was from the last testing of this. The XTool it's great. I did some videos on this explaining like how to start. It's a good starter one, but now when you have the P2 against the bolt, unless you're gonna do really big signs for the push through aspect, because they have a table, a feed table, I really can't. I don't think I wouldn't go with this, because this has a ceramic tube. This has a CO2 tube, and the CO2 has a wider beam. You get more detail out of this one. Plus, this one's a lot faster. So that's a downfall for them, and it's nothing like they did good. This was out before this one, the bolt was. So XTool did good with it, but it just bolt came along and was like, let's make one with steroids, and they did, and it's awesome. So the XTool still has its home for now. I want to do. There's a couple of testing on there. The one thing I don't like about that is if you're going to do like a lot of work, and let's say it's going to be jigs on here, and you want to place it in and put it in the same spot and run it every time, you can't do that in there, because it moves. There's nothing to go off of that's going to be the exact same spot every single time. So you can't take the jigs out. You could probably make something where you can take it out one by one and clamp it down so it's in the same spot, but it was more dicking around with that than it is for this. Like this, you can set up the pins, and you can do what I'm doing here. Just set it in there and go. Set it in there and go. Have the other one ready. This one's done. Put this one in, or take that one out, put this one in, and go. It's flawless. So that's where, yeah, it still hasn't home yet. I'm still playing around. There's some things I want to try on there, but the F1. This one has a home in here, and it'll have a home in here for a while. So this one is going to up my business, and I hope I upped a bunch of other people's business. But as far as going out in the world to events, I'm bringing this one. And I also have the air filter with it, and I'm going to be bringing that to different kind of events that we go to, and it'll just be extra cash in my pocket to expand my business and to get the word out that I'm doing this, because people see it and it's a wow factor. It honestly is a wow factor. So carrying this is a little slower than the other galvo lasers I have, but carrying this in there is a lot smaller, a lot lighter, a lot easier, and it's all enclosed and people can watch it and see it. Now, if you want to do that with like the fiber, you have the coil coming off the back, and the fiber, I should say, and by doing that, if you break that, you're done. It's not going to work. So I prefer just to bring this, and yeah, it's a wow factor. So there you have it. I hope you liked the video. That was the tour of the shop. Oh, hat presses are up there still. So I hope you guys liked the shop tour. If you got any questions, hit me up in the comments. I'll answer them. So glad you guys see me again. Bye.